Last time, what I went through was adding a recorder to DMSS, which would be considered the end user platform. This time, I have in front of me DoLynk Care, which is what would be considered to be the installer's platform. So what you have to do first is register your company. Under company, you can start that process. You'll need a distributor code. That distributor code you can get from your distributor. If you are buying from us, you can get that distributor code from us. So first things first, I've got a pretty empty DoLynk Care here. No devices currently added. What I would need to do first is go to site. Under site, I'll have no sites currently. So if I add a site, I will call it Mast Office. Sync the site time zone to device, assign an operator, which would be me, and customer type DMSS, which would then create the site, which obviously would be like a customer's house, for example. Next, if we go into that site, I get prompted to add a device. So you've got multiple ways of adding a device as well. Under add device, I've got SN, batch import, search LAN, or IoT discovery. So I'd recommend using Internet Explorer if you're going to do the search the LAN, so then the plugin will prompt you to download, and that seems to where it works best for me, but obviously things will upgrade and it's whatever you find works for you. If I choose SN, device name, so I'll say Mast Recorder, enter the SN. If I go over to the Mast Recorder, network, peer-to-peer, I can get it from here. Copy that, paste, and then finally enter the device password. And because the recorder is already online, I can now see that added to my site. So if this was your customer's house, you could add their house name and their recorder to that site to make it very clear which recorder it is and whose recorder it is. You will see the option for pending delivery, which means that it hasn't been delivered to a DMSS account yet. If you wanted to deliver that device, which is the primary way that DoLynk Care would work, is that you deliver devices to people, because at the minute it's only on my DoLynk Care. So I can then choose to deliver. So just to make that clear, I'm under the site. So site, Mast Office, and I can see all the devices under Mast Office and what to deliver. So if I choose deliver, I can either select a customer or add a customer. My DMSS is also the same email as my DoLynk Care, but it is choosing my DMSS email here. So I want to deliver it to connor@mastdigital.co.uk. I'll entrust it to my DoLynk Care, and I want to select the recorder because I'm just delivering all devices here, and then you can select which devices you want to deliver. When you choose deliver, what you will see is the entrusting period, which is a question that I get asked quite frequently. On testing it, the maximum amount of days you can have is 1,825, which turns to about 5 years. So your entrusting period is 5 years. Obviously, if you want to extend it after that, feel free to. Next, you'll also get your permissions. So what you want to do when you have entrusted the recorder. So health management, tick by default. Do you want to be allowed to configure the recorder? And do you want to be allowed to live view video and playback? So you can choose just for a certain amount of hours if the customer is concerned about the privacy of it, or you can choose within the authorization period. So I can do these things throughout the whole 5 years that I'm entrusted. Okay, should the device be handed over to me? Yes. Next up, what will happen is that I'll receive a notification on my DMSS to say that it has been entrusted to me and to accept it. Now I'll show you how to accept that on your phone. So I've now got a notification that the company is applying for entrusting. So to accept the company, I've got a notification, got a device, and in my notifications, I can say that Mast Digital can be entrusted with this device so they can configure and view the live view. Obviously, you don't have to enable both of those at the same time. Agree. And now I've approved that, and I've got a notification through my DoLynk saying that it has been approved. Now on DMSS, if I go to entrust details, I can see the company that's entrusted, how long they've got. I can even cancel those permissions if I don't want them to be able to configure or live view the video. Now that the recorder has been both added to DMSS and DoLynk Care, you will start receiving any errors. So if I want to check my sites now, I can see that we've got one error on one of the sites. So if I go to process now, under my maintenance section, I can see that I have a problem with test camera. It's a network error on the mast recorder. So if I have a look here under the troubleshooting, I can see that there's a network error. I can see that channel's offline. So if I go back to my site, so if I go to details for the mast recorder and I go to channel, what I see is that test camera is offline, which isn't what I would expect. So you can do problem solving if it isn't something that can be solved remotely. Then when you are on site, what you'll see under maintenance is the ability to process it. So if I try to process this now, okay, it does a self check and you can see the error has not been fixed. So it's still under not processed. So I'm just gonna go fix the error, then we'll see what happens. So I've now been to site, I fixed the error, the camera's now back online, it was just unplugged. So if I go now to total errors, still recognizes the error was there, it's not been processed. If I go to fix errors, I can put in a report if necessary. So if I ever need to see if this camera's had an issue before, it will still show up there. Okay. Self-check in progress, error was fixed. You can see the channel's back online. If I go to view details, I can see that the reason that the camera was offline previously was that it has been unplugged. So it gives you a nice history and record of what has happened to that site. I hope this has been a good introduction to DoLynk to show you how you can add devices and what you can do on that DoLynk platform, including the error checking. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you next time.